Okay, hey, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres. Today is the 16th of May, 2018, and I have something to brief that's very, very positive. I've been putting it off for a while because I wanted to think about it and just see the best way to get this across to you all. Here it is. I met with Dr. Hines. He is running for governor here in the state of Michigan. He's an obstetrician from Saginaw. I met with him a couple months ago. It was me, my wife, his wife, and a couple of other friends of mine, and we met at the Big Boy down in Clare, had lunch, and I was pretty impressed with the guy. You know, where he was coming from in his reason for running for governor. You know, he came at it from a true servant's point of view. He's like, somebody needs to do something, and if I don't, who will, you know? Now, the guy doesn't need a job. He's an obstetrician. He's got a great practice going on down there in Saginaw. He's been all around the world doing missions work and things like that. Spent a lot of time over in Africa, and we've swapped stories about delivering babies because, of course, I've delivered quite a few babies myself, 3 to be exact. And so we had some things in common. Well, the other night, we had made plans to get together for dinner, and him and his wife Martha drove up here from Saginaw, and we had dinner, you know, at my house. We sat at the campfire and we ate chicken around the picnic table. It was a nice night, and it was, you know, uneventful. You know, nothing out of the ordinary. We just had a fun time enjoying each other's company. We're about the same age, and I've had a lot of life experiences outside of the country and third world countries, and so has he. So it was just a fun, very relaxed evening. His wife is very charming. I like her quite a bit. And we had a good time. We had a really good time. And he got to spend time with my kids and eat our food and all that stuff. And there was a picture taken, and it was posted up on Facebook. Okay, Jim was sitting next to me, and we had swapped hats. I had a Hines hat on, he had a Baker's Green Acres hat on. And the next day, he had to go to that big debate down there, and I think it was down in Grand Rapids. So he's pretty relaxed about the whole thing. He feels as though this is what he needs to do, and win, lose, or draw, he's doing what he feels he's supposed to do, and he is stepping out on faith and running for the governor's position. And I'm backing him. And here's how I look at this. I've never been one to vote for the less of two evils. You know, I can't do that. I'm going to vote for the best man and let things fall where they may, because the system's good. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to vote for him. There's absolutely no doubt. He's coming at this as a servant. And he's not like some of these other guys that are saying, oh yeah, if you elect me a governor, I'll be a good servant. I'll fix this and I'll fix that. When there's at least 3 of them that have been in government for a long time, and I can tell you, those 3 had lots of opportunities to help me out, and they never did. Never helped me out at all. And I'll tell you a story about Hines. About 2 months ago, I was in Maine. We were looking at some stuff out there, and I get a phone call, and it was from my 14-year-old son. He says, hey, state police are here with Department of Ag, and they're looking for you, you know, and he was bugged. I mean, you get bugged when you have state police cars in your driveway, you know. We watch cops on TV, but we don't want to be on cops, you know. Like, why are you here? What have I done, right? So, I mean, they really did scare my kids, and, you know, their father wasn't home, and it was a scary situation to them. My daughter was here too, my 17-year-old daughter. Well, I called Hines, and I said, I don't know if you can do anything, but I just want you to know this is the kind of thing that Michigan residents deal with from these agencies on a pretty routine basis. You know, it's their way or the highway, and if you don't do it, they'll terrorize you like this. And I mean, the state police have been in my driveway 4 times now. 4 times, and the last time was just a week ago last Tuesday. And it's all over me being a farmer and not doing what the Department of Ag tells me to do, as if they are my master, you know. And I got more information to give on that. There's a fix on that whole thing. But what we have here in Michigan is a clear problem. And I've said it from the get-go. We have a leadership problem. It's very, very easy to fix. It's set up so that you have a governor at the top, and then he's got a bunch of directors under him. They all run these little agencies, right? And if some abuse goes on, the governor can tell the director of whatever, I want to see you in my office. And he has the right and the responsibility, if the director cannot keep his people in line and respect the constitutional rights of the people of the state of Michigan, to fire him or demote him and put somebody else as a director in there. We elect the governor. And I'm telling you, if we elect a governor that does not respect our constitutional rights, we are going to get more of what we have now at the end of the sword of these corporations. And I mean, you know, DNR, DEQ, MDARD, they are corporations, and they have their own rules, and they require that you enter into a contract with them. And then your constitutional rights are out the window. So we need proper leadership. And the other candidates that I see out there, no. I mean, Schuette, Callie, they've been in government, and they're the ones that have screwed it up. Kolbeck, I mean, he courted me some months ago to be in his campaign, but when I question him about his voting record, he pretty much tells me I don't know what I'm talking about. But the Bill of Rights, 1 through 10, you download it. If you didn't even graduate high school, you should be able to read that and understand what it means. I know when my constitutional rights are being trounced, pal. I know, and I know you're doing it. But, you know, this is a politician, so you shouldn't really worry. What does bother me is the people that support him, that know better, but do it anyway. But that's a whole nother story. But this is the guy. This is the guy we want to vote for if we are Constitution lovers, and we need a change of leadership here in the state of Michigan. And I got this letter from him today. I don't think he wrote it. It looks like his wife wrote it, but you know, it was a thank you card. And they sent me a thank you card for coming up to my house to have dinner with me and my family. Now, I don't expect every you know, them to go to every household in the state of Michigan, but the guy is demonstrating that everyone is important. You know, I don't have any power. I'm not a rich man. I mean, I don't own a huge corporation or anything like that. And he feels as though I'm just going to do what I'm supposed to do. And he feels like he's in place to look out for the average citizen, the working class citizen here in the state of Michigan. Let me finish up that story. When I called him, when they had come here, when I was gone, he said, hey, I'll drop what I'm doing and get right down there. He's only in Traverse City. And by the time I got the phone call, it was pretty much over, and they had left. And I said, you know, I know you would, but I don't think it's necessary at this point. I more wanted you to know, you know, right in the time of crisis, how the average family feels when you have a government agency or pseudo-government agency breathing down your neck, you know, threatening to do things to your family if you don't comply with their little rules. And a lot of them are just the worst human beings. I mean, just the worst human beings. So anyway, that's what I got to say. I'm endorsing the guy for sure, and I hope you do too. A big force multiplier is if you share this video, and it'll be unhampered, you know, if you do that. My channel is kind of squelched a little bit, and I don't know who pays to have that done, but I can guess. Okay, so hey, it's Mark from Baker's Green Acres, and remember, anyone can farm.